Why are the meditations failing you? Are you one of those people that is a Dr. Joe Dispenza student? You're doing the meditations in the morning, you're doing them in the evening, and you might even be doing them in the afternoon, but ultimately you're finding that there isn't enough change occurring in your life. My name is Nidhi. I am a teacher of creation. And I have a community that has especially been created for all things Dr. Joe Dispenza and all the missing pieces that will help you to be able to become the conscious creator of your reality. So that link is in the comments box. And please subscribe, share. So I was one of those people that was doing the meditations in the morning, doing them in the evening. Sometimes I'd even do them in the afternoon. So I was clocking up 3-4 hours worth of meditation a day. And I found there wasn't really anything substantial changing in my life. So I've been doing Dr. Joe's work for approximately about 10 years now. And I found myself very much caught in this cycle of do the meditations, probably for a couple of months, realize nothing's changing, then get to a point where I think, oh, this is shit, this is not working for me, it works for other people, and then I quit. And then I look for other answers, I look for other teachers, ultimately to come back to Dr. Joe's work, and I go through the same cycle again. Now, what I'm going to tell you might sound really obvious, but when something finally clicks, it clicks. And obviously, for whatever reason, it didn't click for me until it clicked. And I definitely feel like there's a lot of you out there that are doing his work that will certainly resonate with what I'm about to say. So I'm doing the meditations every day and I'm feeling quite good in the meditations. Not to say that I'm getting into the void and I'm losing myself, but I'm definitely coming out of the meditations feeling fairly good. But then I'm doing something that ultimately meant that nothing was going to change and I was cancelling out all the good work that I was doing in my meditation, which was what? I was falling asleep like a zombie outside of my meditations, which is most of my waking day. So that means if I'm falling asleep, I am by default running old programs that are in conflict with the intentions, with the creations that I'm working on in my meditation. Now, once again, I know this sounds really obvious. I know it does. But like I say, it doesn't click until it clicks. And really, what it took for me was ultimate suffering. So, you know how Dr. Joe often talks about why should we wait until we are on our knees suffering badly with whether it be a health condition or whatever. I did wait for that. And I found myself in a pretty dire situation when it came to my health. And I was literally on my knees and I didn't know what to do. And there came a point where I said, right, I'm going to get back onto Dr. Joe's work. I'm going to do the meditations, but something has to change. And then I started waking up after my meditations. So I was doing my meditations and I was recognizing, okay, I need to be aware of everything that I am thinking and I'm feeling and all of my behaviors so that I can recognize if they are in line with my creations. And if they're not, then I need to be bringing my attention back. And I started doing that for the first few days and it was fucking exhausting. But I recognized quite quickly, oh, well, there you go. Because you weren't aware of these programs, that is why you were not creating any significant change in life. And I want to say once again, I know it sounds obvious, but I know that there are many, many, many of us in the community that are we're putting too much emphasis on the meditation, hoping that that will change our lives and forgetting that there is the rest of the day. What does Dr. Joe talk about? Mastering your day. He doesn't talk about master the meditation. The meditation is definitely a big part of it, but what's happening for the rest of the day? And then over time, I recognized that, you know what? This is actually a full time job. It's actually a full time job being aware of everything that I'm thinking and everything that I'm feeling and all of my behaviors. And obviously, if you're living in the world, if you're living in this material world, the environment is going to trigger you. The environment is going to bring programs up. So there's always something to be aware of. And now I recognize that if you're not being aware in the day, then by default, you are running old programs. So when I say it literally became a 24-hour job, it actually did. The only time I clocked off was when I was sleeping. And I did this for months. I diligently scanned everything that I was thinking, I was feeling, and how I was behaving. And the more that I did it, the deeper my awareness went. Because as we know, awareness is infinite. And I did it every single day, again and again and again. And by the end of every day, I was exhausted. But that is ultimately what I would say for me, what really changed the game. So I was still doing my meditations, great. But what really shifted things for me, what really helped me to overcome some really sticky, tough aspects of myself was me being aware of who I was being in every single moment. And that doesn't mean to say that I didn't fall off the wagon. Of course I did. We all do. But the moment I'd fall off, because I was always on it, I was always being aware, I'd click back and I'd get right back on the horse. And I would start the process of awareness once again. So that is what I would say has ultimately been the game changer for me. And also what that's meant is on the days where I'm not having a great meditation, I know there's no such thing as a bad meditation, but come on, the mind starts playing tricks on you when you come out of a meditation and you feel like, I didn't quite connect. I couldn't quite feel. I couldn't quite see. I couldn't visualize. I wasn't able to go deep into the void. And so what's happened is if I have those days where I'm having those meditations that haven't quite landed, I'm not putting all of my eggs into the basket of meditation because I know that my meditation is continuing throughout the day. So this is a message that I wanted to bring to you. It's really, really important, especially if, I mean, you could have been doing the work for years now, but if you're feeling that something isn't changing, maybe just stop and ask yourself, how aware am I actually being outside my meditations? Just be honest with yourself. It took me 10 years to wake up to it. There is no shame in it. As long as at some point we wake up, right, to what it is that we're doing. So ask yourself, look at your day to day. How aware, how awake are you remaining? So yeah, so that's kind of the point that I wanted to make. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I've got a separate community that I've started on YouTube, which is all about the missing pieces in Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. Obviously, he's great. His work is absolutely fantastic. I will put down most of my transformation to his work, but I have found in my own personal journey that there's been missing pieces that often then meant I would just quit because I didn't have the answers. So over the years, as I have pieced the puzzle of creation with the missing pieces, I'm at a point where I can now share that with those of you that are also in a similar position to what I was in a couple of years ago. So thank you for listening. Look out for more of these videos. I'm going to be talking about all things Joe Dispenza and the missing pieces, as I've just mentioned. So yeah, I'm Nidhi. Go to the link, have a look at that at the channel that I've just mentioned. Please subscribe, please share with other people in the community because this is all about deepening the work and deepening our understanding of it because, of course, all of us are here because we want to become conscious creators. Over and out.